What's up, everybody? It's your boy, and I wanted to show you something. And you're probably like, what the heck did he do? So if you remember, I was saying that I didn't like the paint job. And I don't know if the camera picks it up. I mean, this is a fairly high resolution camera, but it wasn't picking up. Even my kids were like, why does it look dirty? And so painstakingly today, I was doing sort of two jobs as a proud parent. This is my son's. This is a 10-inch cylinder. That's a 12-inch. That's the one, obviously, that you've been seeing in all the episodes. And that's my son's. So today, actually last night, late night, my son and I, he's 12 years old, by the way, we cut out, I mean, it's the exact same process as this one. Identical. This just happens to be a 10-inch cylinder. This is a 12-inch cylinder. Both acrylic. Literally everything was the exact same, except the process was a little bit quicker because I was using some of the notes I referenced in the first couple episodes as far as the template and how to do it and how to cut it out and all that good stuff. So I breezed through this, and he even holds this. I was like, oh, maybe you could just wear this one for Halloween. He's like, Dad, this thing is like crazy. It's like huge. And it was kind of comical. And so I did tell him I was going to hook him up. So like I said, in the beginning, this was my learning experience. This was sort of the what to do, what not to do. And then this was going to be like on point, breeze through it. So today I stripped this down, and I was so afraid. I was praying hard that in the process of sanding this down, I would not vibrate it to a point where some of the circuits, because it's really, really, really delicate, would bust, and then it would be like, I mean, I'd probably cry because of all the time and effort in this thing. And so I used a chemical paint stripper that I tested a little bit, and it worked really good. It allowed me to kind of, chemically peel a lot of this off, but it was a job to get it off still. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, you just wipe it off and there it is, because I was afraid the chemical would eat through this painter's tape and then it would damage the tint behind it, and I don't know what it's going to look like until I take that off. A kind of a cool thing I was a little worried about is I was going to have a line right up to the edge, and I was able to tuck because the tint goes behind this just a little bit, so I was able to tuck the tape underneath it just a little bit, and so I shouldn't see any overspray actually on the tint film all the way around. Fingers crossed it's going to turn out perfect and you're never going to know. I actually saw another guy, that's how he actually built his, but obviously when I knock this out, I'll show you. And then and so it'll be a wrap. It might actually be easier, because then what you could do is cut all this stuff out, put the lights in, then put this lip on, and then tape over it. So why this is here is because I had this taped off, and I'm gonna when I start painting this the next time I'm working on this, I'm gonna put all those wires back in and tape it off, and then I'll have to go through the effort of painting it and clear coating it and wet sanding. So what I'm not going to do on this one, which is what I did on this one, is I didn't do any wet sanding at all, because the oil-based spray paint is so thin, and you have to put such a light coat on that even with 1,000 grit sandpaper, even just a little bit, you kind of rub right through it. I mean, I was doing so gentle. So what I did not do on this one is I just sanded it, and then I clear coated. I put like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 clear coats on this. No sanding in between, because I'm just stressed that I'm going to screw it up like this one. And I'm going to let this sit overnight. It says 30 minutes, you can be fine with it, but I'm going to let it sit overnight, really cure hard. And then it's the same clear I have in the description. And then I'm going to use a wet sand and wet sand it really light just to knock some of the grain off, because it is, that's the orange peel. And then I might tell my son, I'll let him do it, because he knows he's helped me kind of wax cars. And then I'm going to have him use a car polish. not a wax polish, because the polish is still got a very, 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 very fine. It's like the finest you can get without taking the paint off it, and it should smooth it out really nice. But I wanted to show you how bright this thing is, because my kids were getting ready to go to bed. I was like, oh, check this out. I finished cleaning it. And so check this out. Look, I don't even know if the camera does it justice. That's the white color. And you can see here, color is on point all the way up and down. I'm not referencing any of the comments, but somebody commented that built a helmet and was having some challenges. So shout out to you early on, and he was kind of giving me some feedback, and I definitely appreciate that. I've used that. I just don't remember. I don't remember his YouTube channel, but he had some challenges. If you're looking at this, my man, where it was getting dim, and then I showed you in one of the last videos the top and bottom. I couldn't get the colors to match, but as you can see, it's pretty darn close, if not as close as I'm happy with it. And it's not flashing. So that's the test. You want to get all your colors. You want to start with the white, because that's going to determine if you're going to have that flashing signal, like I referenced in a couple of the one of the previous videos. So if you haven't gone back and watched the previous videos, I think this is video I think this is going to be number 20. And so there's a whole video series on how I'm doing this. I think somebody commented on one of the videos, and he was asking about like the color pattern, and so I feel like I haven't made it obvious that this is, even though it says episode 19 or whatever, 20, whatever video that was, or 18, I'm gonna do a better job. I might update all the series to say, go back to the beginning and reference that, just to kind of make it more user friendly for folks kind of finding one of these videos like midway through. And but check this out. So there's all your colors, and just because somebody was asking in a previous video about the different patterns, and I have this the patterns off a little bit because I like the different colors. You can set it up to where all the colors are the exact same. You can do that with the remote. Notice how the top is going a little bit faster than the bottom. I like that personally. I like to have just a whole bunch of randomness. But again, you can change the color patterns any way you want. And being that there's two different receivers inside this, if you really wanted to, is you could program one to be like the top and the second one to be the bottom, and then you could really play around with this thing if you want. I have both remotes, but I'm just cycling. But as you can see, I'm just using one remote, and I'm just pushing through. My daughter likes the rainbow colors, I guess because she's into like unicorns and stuff. But and you can change the speed. I'm not messing with all this stuff, but you can see there's a ton of different patterns. I think it says 300 that are on there, and there's the waves. And so notice how there's like almost a whole wave there. So when you guys do it, if you want to have a nice diagonal wave pattern, like I mentioned in some of those previous videos, when you're getting ready to glue those LEDs in there, you want to make sure you line it up exactly at that maybe it's a 45-degree angle. Basically, it's one LED behind, and then you'll get that big wave. I don't know, there might be a better word for it, but I think like a wave. So there's just tons of patterns, some cool patterns here once you get through. This is kind of like a different style. But you can see here it's back on the same colors. There's a couple cool patterns here coming up. Yeah, my son was like, just leave it without paint. And then I was thinking about it. If I'm only wearing this, again, I'm doing this for fun of it, really for my kids. For Halloween, I'm not the kind of guy that goes to festivals or anything like that. I did go to Ultra one year. That was pretty awesome down in Miami. But I don't even like going on vacation without my kids anymore. Once they're out of the house, whatever, maybe, but I just have so much fun with my kids, and this is a cool thing, especially when I literally just went upstairs right before they were going to bed. I was like, check this out. And they were like, oh man, that's awesome. So that's some of the fun parts of doing stuff like this is getting my kids involved. And my 12-year-old, he was trying that on earlier. He was like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And that's just fun. So if you are a parent, this is it's a time-consuming project. But if they like EDM or they happen to like Marshmello, really anything, it's more fun when you do stuff with kids. And the only reason I'm like this is because when I was really young, my parents, that's one of the cool patterns. Check this out. So this is what I was getting to. Notice how the top is all in all these lines. Well, that was in the beginning stages. I wanted to have this particular pattern because I figured that puts they're all the same, all the way down, which I thought would be a really cool pattern. You'd have like these bars going this way and this way instead of this randomness down here, which still kind of looks neat. But it was a pain. If I did it all over again, knowing what I know now, that's the way I'd do it because that would have a really cool effect. But I wanted to show you that one, and then there's these other kind of patterns that go along with it. And this is literally this thing is like, I don't know, $8 to $10 on Amazon depending on supply. Oh, and somebody commented, which that was nice. They're like, oh man, these helmets are out of stock. And so I don't know if a lot of people, because I can't tell, but I don't know if a lot of people are like, oh man, that's how you do it. And they just are killing that vendor on Amazon. They're probably like, oh man, we got to order a whole bunch of these things. But all of a sudden they're out. And now by the time you're watching this, maybe they're back in stock. I don't know. But if you happen to see one of these, either on Amazon or at different sellers selling them, or just somewhere else online. If you're like, hey, there's a 12-inch acrylic cylinder, comment below and say, hey, here's the link to it, and I'll update the description for all the videos. So that's actually what I'm doing. I'm going through, and I'll go back to episode 1, and I'm going to update the descriptions. So no matter where anybody is with this, the descriptions, as far as the items are concerned, are the exact same all the way through all these episodes. And I don't know when the end's going to be. What I will say is that I got like the whole outfit coming. And so I'm piecing this together, but I got some white shoes coming. I got 2 different styles of white jackets. They're from Amazon, so if I don't like one, I'm gonna return it. One's got a cotton blend, one's all polyester. And I have a local friend here that has a print company, and they do print graphics on t-shirts, and she's like, hey, you got to have cotton on your shirt if you want to do this. So if I really like the polyester jacket, then I'm going to have to create some templates and cut out fabric and glue it. And if I go that route, I'll include the templates as downloadable templates, just like the face template you can download from the description. Or if I'm using, which I really kind of want to do, the print graphic, because then I can go kind of crazy on Photoshop, design something really cool, and go get it printed, and then I can make that template as a downloadable PDF, and then you could take it to a local printer and have it done. The only thing is, and I'm trying to be on the up and up about all this stuff. So if you go to your local printer, they're going to probably say, well, we can't print that because there's trademarks, copyrights, whatever it all is on this image for Marshmello. And so the only way they'd be able to do that for you is if they didn't sell it to you. I think that's how you can get around the legalities. I don't think somebody can't sell you a shirt, or they can't print something because that's a violation of copyrights or trademarks, or depending on if you use the Marshmello word itself is they probably have a copyright or trademark. I get them all confused. And then the images, I'm sure they have that as well. I'm just speculating. But if they just do it for you and they don't charge you, then I think you can work your way around. And this is a good friend of mine, and I might actually film her doing it if we do it at her shop, and you get to see how she does it. So if you got any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. Again, I'm praying the paint job turns out good, clear coat turns out good, and then again, I'll show you the whole getup I got. Skinny jeans. I do not wear skinny jeans. No way would I'd be caught dead in skinny jeans. This is not my style. Some guys can pull it off. This is not my thing, but for the costume, I'm going all out. Got some jeans, white belt, white shoes, white sock, white t-shirt, and then I'll have 1 or 2 different style jackets. And then my son's got the exact same thing coming. All off Amazon, so it's easy to find. And when I get it, when I like it, I'll be like, okay, cool. This is something I'll recommend. I'll put in the video. I'll put the link. And then you'll be like, well, that's what I like. And then boom, make it easy. Because I've been spending hours trying to find the best price on all these different things, and I think I found a good fit. Again, thanks again. Subscribe if you like this and you want to get an update on future stuff, or if you just want to throw me a bone and be like, I got to help this guy out. He's putting some good stuff out. He's trying to help us out. Give me a subscribe, give me a like, and we'll holler at you later. Thanks.